Maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga umattend ngayon. I hope na mag-invite pa kayo dahil importante po itong topic natin tonight. And this is very familiar na topic dahil marami pong may ganito na hindi nila alam kung ano ang dahilan. No, again, ulitin ko, dapat hindi tayo matakot kapag meron po tayong mga sakit dahil pag alam natin, i-familiarize natin kung ano yung karamdaman natin, hindi tayo dapat matakot dahil alam natin kung ano mga dapat nating gawin. Tama? Pero pag wala tayong idea, anong nangyayari, mabilis tayong takutin. That's why, marami tayong gagawing management na sometimes hindi pala karapat-dapat, no? Dahil sa sobrang takot, dahil sa sobrang worry, gumagawa tayo ng mga paraan na hindi naman pala dapat. Dahil due to the lack of knowledge about the diseases, kaya madali tayong masway, madali tayong makumbinse. O ito, pag kunyari, may nararamdaman kang ganito, sakit. Sabi na ito, magaling to sa diabetes. Di ba sinabi ko sa inyo? Hindi tayo dapat basta-bastang mag-go or kailangan nating aralin. Okay, ito yung sakit. Ano ba ang cause? Ano ba ang dapat i-manage? Ano mga interventions? Ano ba ang mga dapat at bakit ba siya nag-develop? Okay? So, alamin natin yon para hindi tayo basta-bastang mag-experiment sa sarili natin. Remember, our body is not for experiment. No, hindi po ito tumatanggap ng trial and error. Okay, remember, our body is very intelligent. No? Hindi po siya bastang diktahan lang natin ng kung anong gusto natin. Okay? Actually, nagrereklamo din sila. That's why we need to learn, we need to know more about especially sa different kinds of diseases. Tonight, our topic is about diabetes mellitus. Sino po ang familiar sa topic na ito? Okay? Meron po ba dito sa inyo na makapagbigay ng ah, opinion or any uh, informations about diabetes mellitus. Meron po sa inyo? Huwag po kayong mahiya. Mas maganda yung may interactions tayo. No? Ah, anyone, pwede po tayo mag-participate. Are you familiar with diabetes mellitus? Napaka-familiar, di ba? Ano
Yes
ang
po, Doc.
alam? Ano ang alam natin pagdating sa diabetes? Mag-ano kayo? Pangit naman yung ako lang magsasalita. Okay,
Try
anyone
po,
can join.
Doktora Evelyn Chu.
Ay, wow. Sige po, ma'am.
Ang diabetes mellitus, ano po yan eh, yung pagtaas ng blood sugar, pwedeng tumaas, pwedeng bumaba, kasi pag mababa, nangihina ka rin, same po yung effect eh.
Okay,
So, may type 1 at saka type 2.
very good.
Ang type 1, parang ano po yan, parang since birth meron na. So,
Okay,
parang genetics. And then, ang type 2, acquired po yan through lifestyle, foods, ganun po.
very good. Thank you, ma'am. At
Eh,
least, ah, thank you sa senior mo sa amin. And anyone na nakapag-attend before? Naka-attend na ba kayo sa health talk ko before? Hindi. Sino po naka-attend dito ng health talk before? Hindi
Ako
pa?
po, Doc.
Okay. So, naalala niyo pa po ba? Alright.
Yes po, Doc. Yes po, Doc.
Alright. So, sige. Go na tayo. So, diabetes mellitus. So, pagkakaalam natin, marami pong klase ito. Okay? Merong type 1, type 2, and yung pag ano ka. Okay. So, again, there are actually, four types of diabetes, no? Ang meron tayong type 1, type 2, tapos gestational diabetes, okay, and pre-diabetes, no? Apat po yan. Pero ang sikat po is 1 and 2. So what do you mean by diabetes? Okay, so ito yung ano natin. Pag sinabing diabetes, ang pag-uusapan natin ay the pancreas. Tama? Si pancreas, pag sinabi kasing diabetes, we will talk about hormones, no? We will talk about glucose and glucagon, okay? And also the insulin. So, pag diabetes, ang focus natin is the pancreas, no? Ang pancreas ay nagsisecrete ng hormones or siya yung nag-stimulate or nag-regulate ng hormones. Number one, the insulin and the glucagon. Alright? So, these are the two hormones, okay, secreted by the pancreas or released by the pancreas, stimulated by the pancreas. So, these are the hormones. So, what are those? So, ngayon, i-focus muna natin na kapag pagdating sa diabetes, ang malaking responsible na organ is the pancreas. Tama? So, bakit hindi? Okay. So, ano bang trabaho ng pancreas? The pancreas secretes 40 to 50 units of insulin daily in two steps. Okay? Meron tinatawag na secreted at low levels during fasting. Okay, basal insulin secretion ang tawag doon. Increased levels after eating. Ito yung prandial. An early burst of insulin occurs within 10 minutes of eating, then proceeds with increasing release as long as hyperglycemia is present. So, ito yung trabaho ng pancreas. Nagre-release siya ng 40 to 50 units of insulin. So, ulitin natin, pagdating sa diabetes, ang pancreas ang may pinakamalaking role pagdating sa regulations ng insulin, the glucagon. Okay? So these are the normal values. RBS, less than 200 mg/dl. Okay? If BG, less than 100 mg/dl, OGTT, okay, 140. So these are the normal values. It's HbA1c, 5.7. So these are the normal values na titingnan natin. So, ang insulin naman, normal values, CPG less than 200, FPG less than 100, OGTT less than 140, HbA1c less than 5.7%. So these are the normal values of insulin. Okay? So what do you mean by diabetes mellitus? Okay. Diabetes mellitus is a chronic disorder. I told you na meron po tayong dalawang uri ng sakit, no? Merong acute and chronic. So, dalawa. Kapag acute, less than 6 months, mabilis gumaling. Okay? Pwede tayong magyabang. Mabilis gumaling ito. Pagdating sa chronic disorder, 6 months above. Okay? Pag sinabing chronic in medical practice, pag sinabing chronic, there is no cure. Okay? Sa medical side, there is no cure. We can only manage. Okay? We need to manage, do some interventions in order to prevent the complications. Okay, to prevent the complications and to prolong the lives of the patient. So that is the management of chronic disorder in the medical side. Pag sinabing chronic, there is no known, hindi natin matatawag na gumagaling. There is no cure. Okay, tandaan natin ha, pag chronic disorder, there is no cure. For example, diabetes is full under chronic disorder. Okay? So pag chronic disorder ay hindi na pala ako gagaling. Okay, that is the reality pagdating sa medical side. There is no known term na pwedeng gumaling. Okay, pag sinabing chronic disorder, there is no cure. Okay, that is in a medical side. For example, another example is the hypertension. Okay? Pag sinabing hypertension, that's why be aware, no? Marami pong produkto na nagpa-promise, ito nakakagaling ng hypertension, ito magaling sa hypertension, magaling sa hypertension. Remember, hypertension is full under chronic disorder. It means there is no cure. Ano bang gagawin natin? Pagdating sa chronic disorder, 6 months above. Okay? Pagdating sa chronic disorder, that's why sa medical side, merong synthetic drugs only for the management of signs and symptoms. Okay? Management. We need to manage to prevent complications and to prolong the lives of the patient. So that is the best interventions in the medical side pagdating sa chronic. So pag-isipin natin, no cure pala ang chronic disorder. So diabetes mellitus can only be managed, but there is no cure. Ano pa? Hypertension cannot be cured, but we can manage. Remember that. Kaya pag sabi na kakagaling tong gamot na to sa hypertension. Again, hypertension, diabetes is fall under chronic disorder, no known cure. Okay, but can only be managed to prevent complications and to prolong the lives of the patients. So I hope na maliwanag po tayo. Be careful sa mga produkto na nagpa-promise nung ininom ko to, gumaling na ang hypertension ko. Kalukuhan. Because it is already fall under chronic disorder. So pag sinabing diabetes mellitus, chronic disorder of carbohydrates, protein, and fat metabolism resulting from insulin deficiency or abnormality in the use of insulin. Okay? So not only for carbohydrates, but also protein, fat metabolism. Alright. So, dito tayo, minsan nalilito tayo. Ano ba talaga diabetes? Okay, marami po tayong aaralin pagdating sa diabetes. Not only for blood sugar, no? Hindi lang po tayo. Now, pag sinabing diabetes, it is a metabolic diseases. Okay, metabolic. Meron tinatawag na metabolic syndrome. So, diabetes is a metabolic diseases in which there are high blood sugar levels over a prolonged period. Okay, matagal na. Okay, so meron tayong glucose in the blood and excessive blood glucose. Alright, so now, ito yung paano ba nangyari? Paano ba nagkaroon at nag-develop ng diabetes? Again, pagdating sa diabetes, anong organ ang pinaka-responsible? Tapos ko yata. Nag-change? Hindi. Naku, sorry. Okay. Pag sinabing diabetes, sorry. Alright. Diabetes is a disorder of the metabolism. Okay. Pag sinabing metabolism, may malaking factor ang, pag sinabing metabolism, sino po ang ah, nagre-regulate ng metabolism? Of course, kasali din dyan ang thyroid. Because thyroid secretes thyroxine that is responsible for metabolism. But the way our bodies uses food for growth and energy. Okay. Most of the food we eat is broken down into glucose. Okay, especially carbohydrates, no? And create sugar in our blood. Glucose in the main component is the main component of or fuel for the body. Okay. So yun ang pinaka fuel ng ating body, the glucose from carbohydrates. Okay? Pag na-breakdown yon ng ating stomach, sasama yung glucose sa ating blood. Okay? After digestion, glucose goes through the bloodstream where it is used by cells for growth and energy. For glucose to get into cells, insulin must be provided. Okay? So, pag sinabing glucose, it is a component after the food being digested in our digestive system. Tama? So ngayon, sumama na yung glucose sa ating blood. Sa bloodstream, dumadaloy. So may glucose kasi kumain tayo, especially more on carbohydrates, no? Insulin is a hormone made by the pancreas. It is a large gland behind the stomach. When we eat, the pancreas automatically makes the right amount of insulin to move glucose from the blood into our cells. In people with diabetes, the pancreas either makes little or no insulin, or the cells do not respond well to the insulin that is produced. Glucose builds up in the blood, overflows into the urine, and passes out of the body. Either way, the body loses its main source of fuel even though the blood contains large amounts of sugar. So, medyo maba. Alright. Ito yon. Kailangan natin ng, ito yung, pag kumain tayo, ito yung lagi nating kinakain. Ito yun kung paano nabuo ang na-develop ang diabetes. Kumain tayo, and then i-break down ng ating digestive system. After the digestive system, pupunta na siya sa bloodstream natin. Sasama na yung glucose sa ating dugo. Bitbitin ng ating dugo ang mga glucose. And then, pag once dadalhin na ng dugo, yung sa pancreas, si pancreas magsasabi na, oops, teka lang, magre-release ako ng insulin. Bakit? Okay? Bakit? Para saan ba insulin? Di ba insulin, insulin. Pag diabetes, insulin. Ano ba ang insulin? Insulin is a hormone released by our beta cells from the pancreas. Okay? Sasabihin yung yung ating pancreas, mamaya ipapakita ko sa inyo. Meron po yang mga beta cells, alpha cells, and delta cells sa loob ng islets of Langerhans. May tinatawag islets, parang may island sa loob ng ating pancreas. Pagdaan ng dugo kay pancreas, uy, ang dami mong ang dami mong na extract na glucose doon sa kinain na. Nako blood, ang dami-dami mong glucose bitbit. Ngayon, sasabihin ng pancreas, teka lang, hindi ko alam kung makapagbigay ba ako ng insulin or hindi. Okay? Because there are types of disorder from the pancreas. Okay. Insulin. Maglalabas si insulin. Why? Paano ba si insulin? Insulin is a hormone released by the beta cells from the pancreas. Para saan si insulin? Si insulin kailangan ng ating dugo. Why? Di ba sabi, ang glucose is a form. It is the number one fuel of energy and growth. Tama? In our body. Si glucose, ang trabaho ni glucose is our major fuel of energy and growth. Tama? Now, kailangan ng glucose makapasok kay cell because pag hindi makapasok si glucose sa cell, siya yung ating source of energy. Pag hindi siya makapasok, babalik ulit siya sa blood. So ano ang role ng insulin? Si insulin ay susi. Susi siya na magbubukas sa isang gate ng cell para makapasok ang glucose sa loob. Okay? Naintindihan niyo na, ang insulin ay isang susi para yung glucose makapasok sa cell kasi ang glucose ang pagkain ng ating cell as a fuel, major fuel of growth and energy. Pag hindi siya makapasok sa ating cell, manghihina tayo dahil wala pong source of energy. Wala ang glucose. Now, pag nakapasok na siya, natural lalakas tayo. Tingnan nyo, pag kumain tayo ng carbohydrates, iba talaga ang lakas natin because carbohydrates is the source of energy for growth and energy. Okay? So now, let's talk about type 1. Ano bang difference ng type 1 and type 2? Okay. Pag sinabing type 1, formerly known as insulin-dependent diabetes mellitus, IDDM. Okay. Pag sinabing type 1, it is autoimmune. Okay, pag type 1 diabetes, you fall under autoimmune disease. Why? The islet cell antibodies, early introduction of cow's milk and cereals. For example, baby ka pa lang, your mother, inintroduce na yung mga formula milk from the cow's milk, GMO ang milk, and the mga cereals na pinapakain sa mga bata. Isa yun sa sinasabi. Okay, pag sinabi kasing autoimmune, unknown cause. Okay, unknown cause. But, ang suspect nila is early introduction of cow's milk and cereals. Okay, sa mga babies. Intake of medicine during pregnancy. Okay? So, kapag nag-intake ka ng medicine during pregnancy, indoor smoking of family members, okay, exposed sa paninigarilyo, yung mother, or exposed siya sa mga cigarettes, no? Destruction of beta cells of the pancreas. Then, pag sinabing type 1, the beta cell is damaged. Okay? Pag type 1 diabetes, the beta cell in the pancreas damaged po. So, pag type 1, little or no insulin production. Kasi nga, si beta cell ang nagre-release ng insulin. So, requires daily insulin administration. So, ang type 1, kailangan niya mag-inject ng insulin because walang beta cell na magre-release ng insulin. May occur at any age, usually appears below age 15. So, huwag tayong magtaka kung bakit may mga below age 15 sa generation ngayon may mga type 1 diabetes na because of these factors, no? Yan yung mga isa sa suspect or dahilan kung bakit nagkakaroon ng type 1 diabetes. Okay. Ito yung sinasabi ko. Okay. Pag sinabing diabetes, may malaki pong responsibility yung ating pancreas. Okay, ito yung pancreas natin. Kung makikita natin dyan sa picture, okay, meron tong islets of Langerhans. Ito siya. Okay, islets of Langerhans. Sa machine, nakikita po to, ito yung pinofocus. Kaya tinitingnan ko lagi kung meron anong klaseng type of diabetes meron ng isang pasyente. So ito yung pancreas, ito yung islets of Langerhans. Sa islets of Langerhans, ito siya, merong alpha cell, okay? Merong alpha cell, merong beta cell, and the delta cell. Okay. Pag alpha cell, alpha. Si alpha cell, ang nire-release niyan is glucagon hormone. Glucagon is a hormone. Okay? Kapag, okay, mamaya na to. Si beta cell naman, ang nire-release dito ay insulin. Okay? Si beta cell, ang nagre-release ng insulin. Okay. Pag type 1 diabetes, type 1. Si beta cell damage, sinabi kanina, pag type 1, the beta cell is damaged. So, walang magre-release ng insulin. So, ang mangyayari, kapag type 1 ka, kailangan mong mag-inject ng insulin. Mag-i-inject ka palagi ng insulin. Why? Damage ang beta cell. Bakit? Ang type 1 is autoimmune. Damage ang beta cell, that's why walang magre-release ng insulin. Okay? So, si alpha cell naman ang magre-release ng glucagon. Okay, para saan naman tong alpha cell? Si alpha cell, ito yung mga tao na mahilig mag-intermittent. Intermittent, ang sinasabi, ay intermittent. Intermittent is good but not applicable to all. Okay? Hindi tayo basta-basta mag-intermittent kung hindi mo alam ang kondisyon mo. That's why, kailangan natin na magpa-check. Why? Hindi natin alam kung anong kondisyon meron ka. Baka mamaya, meron kang damage sa beta cell. Okay? Now, kapag ikaw laging nag-skip ng meals, palagi kang di kumakain, di ka kumakain ng anong tinatawag nila yung low carb, okay. Ay, naglo-low carb ako. Okay, so here's the truth. Pagdating dyan sa mga intermittent and low carb, ay, totally, di lang low carb, zero. Okay. Ay, puro na ako protein ngayon, hindi na ako nag-ano. Okay. Sige, go. Okay. Dito sa pancreas, pag palagi mong ginugutom yung sarili mo, hindi ka kumakain. Remember, carbohydrates is the main source of glucose. Again, pag wala kang glucose, wala kang fuel in the body, use for growth. Okay, use for growth and use para yung cell natin makapag-restore, makapag-develop. So ngayon, wala kang fuel. Ano ang fuel? The glucose. Okay. Yung glucose na yon, diniprive mo yung sarili mo. Hindi ka kumain. Nagpagutom ka. Okay. So, kasi ayoko ng ganun kasi may diabetes ako. Ang mangyayari, si pancreas, okay, yung blood natin, tuloy-tuloy, ang pag-circulate, iba yung kinain mo, wala kang glucose. Okay, wala kang carbo, wala kang form of glucose. Dadaan yung dugo kay pancreas. Sasabihin ni pancreas, ay, walang glucose. Madidetect ng pancreas. Ay, wala ka, dugo, wala kang bit-bit na glucose. Anong ginawa mo? Ay, kasi nag-zero carb ako eh. Puro ako protein ngayon. Kasi nga, ganito, ayaw kong ano, ayaw kong mag-develop ng diabetes. Okay. So ngayon, sasabihin ng pancreas, teka lang, hindi pwedeng wala kang glucose. Tingnan mo, yung body natin kung gaano siya ka-powerful, no? Kaya natutuwa ako pag nag-aaral tayo dito. Why? I want you to know how amazing we are, no? Isipin mo si pancreas, alam niya, tingnan, dugo, wala kang bitbit na glucagon, glucose, wala kang bitbit. Eh kasi nga tong ano nagda-diet siya eh, ayaw niya ng carbohydrates. Puro daw siya protein. Eh. Anong sasabihin ng alpha cell? Sabi ng beta cell, sorry ha, na-damage kasi ako, hindi ako makapag-release ng ano ngayon. Hindi na, wala talaga akong insulin na may bibigay kasi ako na-damage na. Okay. So ngayon, si alpha cell, alam ng pancreas na kapag walang glucose, manghihina ka. Kasi source of energy ang glucose. Ngayon, sasabihin ng brain, "Psst, alpha cell, mag-release ka ng glucagon. Glucagon is also a hormone. Okay. Para saan yan? Mag-release ka ng glucagon. Okay. Utusan mo si liver at si kidney. Imagine, no? Nag-uusap sila, yung mga organs natin. Sabi ng ating brain, pancreas, walang glucose, 'di ba? Yung dugo, wala siyang bitbit. Sabi ng alpha cell, ay sabi ng beta cell at saka alpha cell, wala siyang glucose na bitbit. Sabi ng brain, okay, wala siyang glucose. Alpha cell, mag-release ka ng glucagon. Okay, again, glucagon and insulin, mga susi yan sila. Glucagon, magre-release yung ating alpha cell sa pancreas. Magre-release siya ng glucagon, pupunta siya kay liver. Pagdating kay liver at kay kidney, anong gagawin ng glucagon? Sasabihin niya kay liver na, liver, meron kang stored fats, di ba? Kidney, meron kang stored fats, di ba? So, yun yung mga nangyayari. Kahit hindi tayo kumain ng ilang araw, nakasurvive pa rin tayo kahit papaano. Bakit hindi ka nanlulupaypay? Why? Because our alpha cell in the pancreas nagre-release ng glucagon para utusan ang liver and kidney para mag-release ng stored fats. Merong stored fats sa liver and stored fats sa kidney. Now, that is good. So pag once na ano nila yon, na stimulate na nila yung restored. Okay, ang tinatawag doon ay stored fats. Okay, pag once na na-stimulate na nila, so may bit-bit na yung ating dugo. Ay, salamat, meron tayong source of energy. Kahit papano, yung stored fats, yun ang gagamitin ng katawan natin para hindi tayo manghina. Now, ano ang downside? Pag palagi tayong ganon. The kidney will release ketones. Pag sinabing ketones, yan yung stored fats sa ating kidney. Too much release of ketones from the kidney will lead to kidney failure. So that is the downside of too much deprived ng glucose, ng carbohydrates. Puro protein, protein, protein. Ay, nag-intermittent ako. Ay, nagda-diet ako. Ay, hindi ako pwede dito. Again, hindi po bawal ang intermittent. You need to consult from the expert. Hindi mo alam ang kondisyon mo. Kaya huwag kang basta-bastang gaya-gaya. Dahil hindi yan maging effective sa'yo, pwede kang ma-damage. Why? Too much release of glucagon from the kidney. Kidney is from the word ketones. Okay, that is the reserve fats from our kidney and from our liver. So too much ng puro low carb, and intermittent, one day, do not be surprised kung magkaroon ka ng problema sa kidney failure. Why? Too much stimulations of ketones is not good. Okay? So, yun yung magiging downside. Okay? Kaya nga hindi pwedeng totally alisin mo ang carbo. Why? Wala kang source of glucose. The only source of glucose is from the carbohydrates. Simple and complex carbohydrates. Pag wala ka nun, eh di si alpha cell lang magtatrabaho. Magre-release siya na magre-release ng glucagon para i-dissolve yung mga stored fats. And too much of that, one day you will develop kidney failure. Alright? Maliwanag po ba? So next, wag na natin aralin yung somatostatin. Okay. So these are the glucagon. Pag sinabing glucagon, ito yung sinabi ko kanina, secreted by the alpha cells in the islets of Langerhans. Pag wala kang kinakain na mga carbo or glucose bit-bit ang dugo, siya ang magtatrabaho para hindi ka manlulupaypay. Metabolic process wherein glucose is generated from non-carbohydrate precursors, pyruvate, lactate glycerol, and gluconic amino acids. It takes place mainly in the liver and in the kidney, and often occurs during periods of fasting, low carbohydrate diets, or intense exercise. That's why be careful, no? Hindi lahat ng pinapractice natin na walang advice from the experts is good sa atin. It might develop a chronic disorder one day, especially from the liver and the kidney. Too much of fasting, too much of low carb, intermittent, that is very dangerous, okay? So the major stimulants of the amino acids, so it's good. Major stimulants of glucagon, hindi magre-release ang alpha cell kung wala pa rin stimulants, which is the amino acids. And major inhibitors, glucose, insulin, and somatostatin. So those are the hormones released or regulated by our pancreas. Okay, so yan yung glucagon ha. Kapag too much fasting, too much low carb, okay, be careful. Si glucagon, si alpha cell ang mag-release, magtatrabaho, hindi ang beta cell. So now, insulin, okay, synthesized in the beta cells of the islets of Langerhans. 50 to 60% damage of the islet cell mass needed for diabetes to become apparent. Okay, high blood sugar stimulates clusters of special cells, beta cells in your pancreas to release insulin. The more glucose you have in your blood, the more insulin your pancreas releases. Okay, major stimulants, glucose, amino acids, glucagon, and CCK. Okay? So, wag na tong somatostatin, ha? Wag na to. Okay, dito tayo. The glucose and the insulin. Ito yung sinabi ko para maintindihan nyo ano yung insulin. Insulin is a hormone. Anong trabaho ng insulin? Susi. Okay. Susi para magbukas ng gate ng ng ating cell. Okay. Ito yung cell natin. Okay. Para saan yung glucose? Para sa major fuel or major energy for growth, no? Energy and for growth. Ito yung trabaho ng glucose. Now, ito yung blood. Ito si blood, bit-bit niya ngayon, pag breakdown ng ating food from the digestive system, bit-bit ng ating dugo, yung ating glucose. Tapos, dadaan sila kay, madidetect siya ng pancreas. Sabihin nga, ay, dugo, wala kang bit-bit o may bit-bit kang insulin ha, ang dami ha, kakakain ng mga fast food, kakakain ng sobrang daming pizza, ng hamburger, o kahit ano, ang dami mong nilamon. Nako, ang dami-dami mong dami-dami mong glucose, bit-bit dugo. Ngayon, sabi ng pancreas, teka lang, problema yung beta cell ko, problema si beta cell, hindi makarelease ng insulin. Okay? Ito yung gate kung saan doon papasok ang glucose. Okay? Ito yung gate na bubuksan para mabuksan niya yung gate kung saan papasok ang glucose. Dalawang gate. Ito, ito lang yung gate kung saan si insulin bubuksan niya to para mabuksan itong gate para doon pumasok ang glucose. Magkaiba po ang kanilang gate sa cell. Ito yung gate ng insulin. Okay. Hindi magbubukas ang gate na to ni glucose kung walang insulin. Ulitin ko, si insulin ay isang hormone susi para makabukas doon sa gate kung saan doon papasok ang glucose para maggamit as energy or fuel in our cell. Okay, naiintindihan nyo na. Ngayon, ang type 1, Problema ni type 1, walang beta cell na magre-release. Okay. Si type 1, walang beta cell dahil damage because it is full under autoimmune. No? So ngayon, walang insulin. Ang mangyayari, hindi makakapasok ang glucose dito. Why? Hindi siya magbubukas. So, hindi magbubukas itong gate na to kasi walang nagbukas. Walang insulin. Damage si beta cell. So, anong mangyayari doon sa glucose? Dumadaloy lang yan sa circulations. Hindi makakapasok sa lahat ng cells. Why? Walang susi. Walang insulin. Hindi nabubuksan yung mga gate kung saan doon papasok ang glucose. Ang mangyayari, pag type 1 ka, yung sugar, yung glucose, kasama lang ng dugo, paikot-ikot, paikot-ikot. That's why, lumalapot ang dugo, pag diabetic, lumalapot ang dugo dahil ang glucose, bit-bit lang ng dugo, hindi nagagamit ng ating cell. That's why yung mga type 1 and type 2, the same, nanghihina. Why? Hindi nga nakapasok ang glucose. Glucose is a source of energy. Hindi nakapasok. So, nandun lang sa bloodstream. Ikot, 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 ikot. Ikaw nanghihina. Ay, tika lang. Kumain naman ako, pero bakit gano'n nanghihina? Kasi nga, hindi nakapasok ang glucose sa cell dahil wala kang insulin. Ang type 1 diabetes, beta cell is damaged. Kaya walang insulin. Ngayon, ang gagawin ng doktor, ops, teka, mag-inject ka ng insulin para bumukas ito. Okay? So, may susi ka na. Kunyari, and that is only temporary. Mag-inject ka, so nakakapasok na, ay, okay ako. Nakakapasok na ngayon. May insulin from the injection, okay? And then, mabubuksan na ito. So, nakakapasok yung glucose. So, hanggang kailan ganyan? Okay, paulit-ulit na lang ganun. Inject, inject, inject. Para lang magkaroon ng susi para magbukas ito. That is type 1. Okay. Ito, how does insulin work? So, ito yung sinabi ko. Nasabi ko na, pinakita ko lang. Insulin ay susi. Ito yung cell. May dalawang gate. Okay? Itong gate na to, kung saan si insulin papasok para buksan niya ito para pumasok ang glucose. So this is the cell. Kailangan makapasok ang glucose para maggamit ng cell dahil ito yung source of energy. Kaya lang ang type 1, walang insulin, zero. That's why si glucose hindi makakapasok. Okay? So yan yung type 1. Ito, ginawan ko pa yan ng ganito. Right. So si type 1 diabetes, para lalong maintindihan. Kaya sinasabing diabetic ketoacidosis. Okay. Ito yung cell, ito yung dugo na may bit-bit ng glucose. Okay. Dahil si type 1, si beta cell ay damaged, so no insulin. Okay. So no insulin, that's why. Okay. No insulin. So ang glucose ay hindi makakapasok. Walang susi. So ang mangyayari, gluconeogenesis, sasabihin ng brain, alpha cell, mag-release ka ng glucagon para i-break down yung mga stored fats. At yung stored fats na tinatawag from the kidney ay ketones. Ketones is used for energy. It is a reserve energy from the breakdown of stored fats from the kidney. So too much of fasting, too much of low carb, too much of intermittent. If you don't know that you are type 1 diabetes, one day you might develop kidney failure. Okay? So, yan yung type 1 diabetes. Right. So, wag na yan. Ito na yun. Nasabi ko na to. Pinakita ko lang yung illustrations, no? So, pathophysiology, ito pa rin yung sinabi ko. Type 1 diabetes, okay? Ang glucose, walang insulin. Okay. That's why babalik lang ulit siya sa circulations. Ikot lang ng ikot. Kaya lumalapot ang dugo dahil ang dami-dami pong bit-bit ng glucose, hindi nagagamit ng cell. So paikot-ikot, paikot-ikot. That's why pagdating ng time, ang dami pong complications na nadidevelop dahil hindi siya nagamit ng ating cell sa katawan. Okay? So, that is type 1 diabetes. Ang gagawin, mag-insulin. Mag-inject ng insulin. Ito yung mga site kung saan yun, management requires daily insulin administration para kahit papaano makakapasok siya. But that is very harmful. Okay? So ano ang symptoms? Ano ang symptoms ng type 1 diabetes? Excessive thirst. Okay. Ang galing ng katawan natin. Bakit kailangan excessive thirst? Kasi yung glucose natin nasa dugo, lumalapot ang dugo. Kailangan mo uminom ng tubig. Kaya nga, excessive thirst. Nakakaramdam ka ng uhaw. Why? Sa sobrang lapot ng dugo mo, dahil yung glucose, bit-bit ng dugo mo, hindi nakapasok sa cell. You need to drink more water. Sabihin mo, alam mo, pag diabetes, uhaw na uhaw, natural. Alam ng body mo na yung dugo mo ay napakalapot. Ang dami-daming bit-bit na glucose. Kaya uminom tubig para sa tinatawag na osmotic pressure. The more you drink water, tinutulungan para lumabas, iihi mo yan ng iihi. Kahit kapag hindi mo yan maihi, mahirap. Paikot-ikot lang ang lapot-lapot ng dugo mo. Para hindi ganun, hindi mahirapan yung heart, hindi mahirapan yung lungs, you need to drink a lot of water. Excessive thirst. Alam ng katawan natin kung anong kailangan. Excessive hunger. Of course. Bakit pag ang diabetic, kakakain lang, gutom na naman uli? Why? Excessive hunger. Why? Hindi nga nakakakain yung cell. Kaya ka nagugutom lagi. Dahil yung glucose, hindi nakapasok sa cell. Walang source of energy. That's why, yung katawan mo, laging nangihingi. Sabi ng cell, kain ka dahil kailangan namin ng energy. Excessive hunger. Why? The cells nagbibigay ng signal, kumain ka please kasi kailangan namin ng energy. Eh, kain ka naman ng kain. Remember, the glucose you eat, hindi yan nakakapasok sa cell dahil, especially type 1, hindi nakakapasok sa cell dahil wala ngang insulin. Dahil damage ang beta cell. Si beta cell, tandaan nyo, beta cell is damaged in type 1 diabetes. No insulin, no susi, kaya hindi nakakapasok sa ating cell. Walang pagkain ng ating cell na glucose. Kaya nagugutom ka ng nagugutom. And then unexplained weight loss. Okay? Weight loss kasi especially it is a metabolism, chronic metabolic disorder. Yung metabolism natin ay nagkanda gulo-gulo na. That's why there is unexplained weight loss. Talagang papayat ka dahil yung cells mo nagugutom. Walang pagkain. Blurred visions. Bakit nagkakaroon ng diabetic retinopathy? Ang liliit ng mga blood vessels sa ating mata. Gahibla ng buhok. Ang dadaloy dyan ay napakalapot na dugo because of too much glucose. Sinong mata ang hindi ma-damage? Okay? Slow healing of cuts and sores. Of course. Remember, yung ating dugo ay napakalapot. Kaya hindi yan basta-bastang gumagaling. Because hindi nakakadaloy yung tamang WBC. Okay. Bit-bit ng dugo natin ang WBC. Sila yung nagfa-fight ng mga bakterya, sila yung nagfa-fight ng infections. Papaano makarating doon sa sugat? Ang kasing bagal pa ng, ano ba? Kasing bagal pa na, ano ba pinakamabagal? Okay, parang yung dugo natin ay para ng honey. So, pag nasugat doon, ang tagal bago madaluyan ng ating dugo. Slow, no? Very poor blood circulations. That's why yung WBC na magfa-fight ng bacteria in any form na nagdadala ng infections ay nanghihina because of too much glucose in the blood. Fatigue, natural. Fatigue because yung cells hindi nakakakain ng tama. Walang source of energy. Vaginal yeast infections. Ang mga diabetic palaging may nangangati sa vaginal yeast. Why? It is a opening. Okay. Merong opening. Okay. So kapag open, and then yung ating blood ay napaka poor ang blood circulations. Nandun ang WBC na magfa-fight ng mga parasites, bacterial infections, hindi po nakaka-perform ng maayos because of poor blood circulations due to high glucose sa ating dugo. That's why nag-i-enjoy ang mga yeast. Yun yung pinaka-favorite nila, yeast infections if you have type 1 or type 2 diabetes. It's the same, no? Frequent urination. Okay, bakit kailangan frequent urination? Kasi nga yung body natin nagdi-demand ng urination. Why? Kailangan mo iihi ng iihi. Uminom ka na uminom na maraming tubig para umihi ka ng umihi dahil kailangan mong iihi yung too much glucose na bit-bit ng dugo mo. Including frequent full diapers in infants and bedwetting in children. So these are the symptoms of type 1 diabetes. I hope you understand. Okay? So, what are the components of our red pine? Okay. Actually, inaral ko yung kanyang clinical studies, no? With regards to diabetes. How does our red pine component works with type 1 diabetes patient? Okay. The leucine. Leucine is one of the component of red pine needle oil that will increase insulin sensitivity. Okay, what? How? Instead, okay, kaya ang dami na naming diabetic patients na tuloy-tuloy ang pag-take ng red pine. Remember, type 1 diabetes has no insulin. Okay? No insulin because the beta cell is damaged. Sino ang nagre-release ng insulin? The beta cell. But the type 1, damage ang beta cell. That's why no susi. What will happen if you continuously take the red pine? It has the leucine. Leucine is a component of red pine wherein it acts as insulin in our blood. No? Siya yung pag uminom ka ng uminom, the leucine acts as an insulin. Damage ang beta cell. Thanks God for the leucine because leucine, it acts as insulin. That's why pag dumalo yung dugo, bit-bit ang glucose, bit-bit ang leucine ng ating red pine, sasabihin ng cell, Oy, may insulin. But actually, it's not the insulin. It is the leucine, component of our red pine. Increases insulin sensitivity. Magbubukas si leucine ng gate para makapasok ang glucose. That's the functions of our component of red pine, the leucine. Okay? It is from the clinical study of our Pinus densiflora with regards to this kind of component. So yun yung trabaho. It increases insulin sensitivity. Kaya nagtataka kami bakit yung mga diabetic patients, type 1, hindi nanghihina, hindi nagugutom, as in umaayos ang kanilang kondisyon. Why? There is someone na it acts as insulin. Despite the beta cell is already damaged in type 1 diabetes, there is the leucine. We have to thank God for the red pine. Okay? Ang galing pagdating sa diabetes because of the leucine. Siya yung nag-act as insulin. Alright? So I hope you understand ito yung component ng ating red pine. The next component is the L-glutamine, the amino acids. Remember, the major stimulants of glucagon and the insulin are the amino acids. Okay? Hindi magpe-perform ng maayos ang insulin and the glucagon without the stimulator amino acids. So, hindi ganun kasimple. Ang dami nilang hinihingi. Okay? Enhances the nervous system. Okay, ito pa. Usually depleted in the Hashimoto's on autoimmune disorder. Okay, remember, type 1 diabetes is full under autoimmune. Supplementing may greatly help reduce repair damage due to immune attacks. So these are the component. The amino acids glutamine is very good and effectively treats diabetes, aiding in glucose utilization and balancing blood sugar levels. So these are the component of our red pine that can address the type 1 diabetic patient. All right. So ano pa ang component? Okay? So those are the component ng ating type 1 ating red pine with regards to type 1 diabetes. Number one is the leucine and the L-glutamine. So those are the component of red pine that can help the type 1 diabetes. Okay, let's go for the second type, the type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is formerly known as non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. Okay. Pag sinabing non-dependent, ibig sabihin, hindi siya nangangailangan ng insulin from the outer source. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, hindi damage ang beta cell. Meron siyang nagre-release. Ay, salamat, type 2 diabetes. Meron siyang insulin. Okay. Type 1, no insulin. Type 2, may insulin. Disturbance in insulin reception in the cells. Okay. Bakit meron pa rin type 2? Kung meron naman palang beta cell na nagre-release ng insulin. Decreased number of insulin receptors, loss of beta cell responsiveness to glucose leading to slower decrease of insulin release by the pancreas, okay, occurs over 40 but can occur in children. Common in overweight and obese with some circulating insulin present often do not require insulin. So anong kaibahan? Okay. This type, the beta cell can release, hindi damage. Okay. Insulin allows glucose to move into cells to make energy, inhibits glucagon activity. Okay. Ito yung type 2 diabetes. Balik natin. The simple sugar that serves as the main source of energy in the body, glucose in the principal sugar the body makes. The body makes glucose from proteins, fats, largest part of carbohydrates. Glucose is carried to its cell through the bloodstream. Cells, however, cannot use glucose with the help of insulin. Glucose is also known as dextrose. Okay? So now, what will happen sa type 2 diabetes? Sa type 2 diabetes, may insulin. Ito yung cell, ang glucose nakakapasok dapat kasi may susi, may insulin. Okay, ito yon. Type 2 diabetes. May insulin dahil hindi damage ang beta cell. Ano ang problema ni type 2? Okay. Sa type 2, there is too much glucose rather than insulin. So ngayon sa type 2 diabetes, dahil sa sobrang katakawan, okay, sa sobra nating walang disiplina, kay dami kain, kain-kain, kahit wala na sa oras, kay puro carbohydrates, puro fast food, puro carbo, puro marami. Okay. So what will happen? Okay lang kasi ano naman ako, hindi naman damage ang beta cell ko. So may nakakapasok pa rin ng glucose. Okay, kung isipin natin, oops, may beta cell, hindi damage ang beta cell sa type 2. So merong insulin, nakakapasok ang glucose. Ay, kain tayo ng kain kasi nakakapasok. But actually, no. Okay. The type 2 diabetes, may insulin, kaya lang mas lesser ang insulin kaysa glucose. Bit-bit ng blood, sobrang daming glucose. May insulin, kaya lang the cell. Meron tinatawag na hypersensitivity. Nagkaroon ng hypersensitivity. Okay? Hyperglycemic, pag sinabing hyperglycemic, too much glucose in the blood, hyperosmolar, and non-ketotic. Okay, pag sinabing non-ketotic, hindi ito galing sa glucagon, hindi from the kidney, okay? Yung energy. What will happen? Yung ating cell nagkaroon ng hypersensitivity na overcrowd ang insulin sa glucose. Kaya yung gate ng cell, hindi niya ma-detect ang insulin. Ang nadi-detect niya ay ang glucose. Kaya hindi pa rin bubukas ang gate. Hindi nakakapasok ang glucose kasi nga nagkaroon ng hypersensitivity yung cell. Hindi niya alam na meron palang insulin. Mas na-detect ng gate ng cell ay yung glucose. So na-overpower yung insulin. So what will happen? Balik pa rin sa circulations. Type 1 and type 2, the same. Yung symptoms, pareho. Kasi nga, ang glucose, the source of energy, hindi nakapasok sa cell, hindi nagamit ng cell as form of energy, yung glucose. Na-overpower. So now, what will happen? Sa type 2 diabetes, meron tinatawag na sumugi effect or the uh, phenomenon, dawn phenomenon na tinatawag. Pag sinabing sumogi effect, during daytime, halos hindi ka kumain. Hindi ka kumain. Kasi nga, ay naku, type 2 diabetes, hindi ako kakain kasi nag-calorie deficit ka. On that day, nag-calorie deficit ka. So what will happen? 2 to 3 a.m. 2 to 3 a.m., bumabagsak yung ating glucose. Sa type 2 type 2 diabetes. Iyan yung tawag na sumugi effect. The dawn phenomenon, okay, ng type 2 diabetes. Paggising ka ng 2 to 3 a.m. or diabetic type 2 ka, 2 to 3 a.m., yan yung time na bumabagsak ang nagkaroon ng hypogly, okay, sumugi effect or dawn phenomenon states that early morning hyperglycemia occurs due to the rebound effect of the late night hypoglycemia. 2 to 3 a.m. nagkakaroon ng uh, night may tinatawag dyan na ano, teka lang, sudden drop of glucose. Ang tinatawag dyan ay hypoglycemia. Kaya siya tinatawag na sudden, sudden drop of glucose during 2 to 3 a.m. Pag nagising ka ng 2 to 3 a.m., gutom na gutom ka, gusto mong kumain. Why? Bumabagsak ang iyong glucose. Ano ang mangyayari? Because nagkaroon ka ng deficient of calorie intake during the daytime. That's why nagkaroon ng uh, 2 to 3 a.m. hypoglycemia. So 2 to 3 a.m. hypoglycemia, 4 to 8 a.m. Ito naman yung tinatawag na sumugi effect. 4 to 8 a.m., biglang rise, hyperglycemic ka, biglang taas ng glucose mo. Okay? Why? Because of the sumugi phenomenon ng type 2 diabetes. Every 2 to 3 a.m., bumabagsak, hypoglycemia, and then 4 to 8 a.m., biglang sumugi effect, hyperglycemic. So, ganun ang nangyayari sa type 2. Now, ito yung sinasabi ko, sa type 2 diabetes, merong insulin dahil hindi damage ang beta cell. But the problem is, yung ating gate ng cell, kung saan papasok siya para mabuksan niya yung glucose gate, hindi siya makaka-detect. Nagkaroon ng hypersensitivity due to too much glucose in the blood. So, the same thing. Type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, parehong hindi nakakapasok sa cell. That's why pareho lang ang kanilang signs and symptoms. Hindi nagamit ng cell, babalik sa circulation. So what will happen? Same pa din. Okay? Okay, ito yung tinatawag na osmotic diuresis. Diuresis. Ibig sabihin, rising blood glucose levels during early morning kasi you need to drink a lot of water because of hyperosmolality. Kaya ka ihi ng ihi para tulungan yung body mo na i-release, tulungan yung dugo mo na ma-release yung excess glucose na bit-bit ng ating dugo. Ang galing ng katawan natin, alam niya na merong kailangan. That's why mauhaw ka ng mauhaw. Kaya uminom ka ng uminom ng tubig para to activate the hyperosmolality. Yung ating kidney, tutulungan na ilabas yung urine para hindi gaanong sobrang lapot umiikot. Madadamage yung heart, madadamage yung lungs, ang daming maapektuhan sa sobrang lapot ng dugo. Dahil hindi nga nagagamit, kailangan yan ilabas. Okay? So, signs and symptoms, type 1 and type 2 is the same. Okay? Increased thirst, blurred visions, the same thing. Wala pong pagkaiba. And then, fungal infections, kaya ang daming itchy. Kasi nga, our WBC cannot do their functions dahil nga sa sobrang lapot, sa sobrang hindi nila ma-perform yung kanilang trabaho to defend us. Okay? Constant hunger. Kasi nga, hindi nakakakain yung cell. Walang source of energy. Frequent urination, unexplained weight loss, numbness of hands and feet. Why? Hindi narating ng tamang blood circulations, especially the lower extremity because of the gravity at tapos ang lapot-lapot pa ng dugo. That's why there is numbness of hands and feet. Okay? So the same, type 1, type 2, the same signs and symptoms. Dahil again, parehong hindi nakapasok, parehong hindi nagamit ng cell, yung glucose, nasa circulations lang, umiikot. Now, what are the components of our red pine that can help the type 2 diabetes? Number one, kanina, lucid and L-glutamine. Sa type 2, merong isoleucine. Isoleucine regulates blood sugar level. Okay. What is the functions of isoleucine component of our red pine? Diba sa type 2, sobrang daming glucose. What will happen? Ang isoleucine help our blood para hindi magiging sticky, hindi lumalapot, kaya tuloy-tuloy ang daloy. Tumutuloy-tuloy ang daloy. Kaya pag diabetic ka, hindi pwedeng isa lang. Remember, our blood vessels about 100,000 kilometer. Tapos yung dugo mo, sobrang daming glucose bitbit. Ang gagawin ng component ng ating red pine, isoleucine, regulates the blood sugar. Di ba sobrang daming blood sugar? I-regulate niya para hindi lumapot yung dugo, tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang pagdaloy, hindi kasing lapot ng honey. Okay? So yan yung trabaho ng component nating red pine pagdating sa type 2 diabetes, the isoleucine. So ano pa? The histidine. Oh, eto yun ha. Yung histidine, sobra pong haba ng clinical study with regards to histidine component from red pine pagdating sa diabetic patients, no? Anong gagawin? Insulin resistance, systemic inflammation, oxidative stress, okay? So ang ginagawa, katulad din yan ng ah katulad din yan ng lucid. 'Di ba? Na overcrowd si insulin. Sa type 2 diabetes na overcrowd ang insulin because of too much glucose. The histidine, it acts as insulin. Ini-enhance niya ang insulin. So, sobrang daming insulin. Wow, ang dami-dami insulin. That's why the cell now can detect, uy, maraming insulin. Pasok. So, nakakapasok. So, that is the component of our red pine. Ang galing, sa totoo lang. Hindi ko matatawaran yung galing ng ating produkto na gift ng Lord. Alam nyo, before ko ginawa ito, inaral ko yung clinical study ko. Ang galing talaga ng component. Merong somebody, component ng ating produkto that will act as insulin is type 1, type 2. Type 1, leucine, it acts as insulin. Sa type 2, na-overpower ang insulin sa too much glucose, si etong si isoleucine, siya yung hindi nagpapalapot ng dugo para makadaloy. And here comes the histidine, it acts as insulin para yung insulin na na-overcrowd ng glucose, madidetect ng ating cell, oops, maraming insulin to ah. O pasok, so nakakapasok. That's why those diabetic type 1 and type 2, please, continue po ang pag-take ng Red Pine. I tell you, ang dami na naming diabetic patients. I thank God, nare-regulate po talaga. Okay? So, ano pa? The N-acetylcysteine. The N-acetylcysteine component, ito yung stable the blood sugar by decreasing the inflammations in the fat cells. So, N-acetylcysteine, it acts as glucose regulator in the type 2 diabetes. So, meron ng isoleucine, may histidine, and N-acetylcysteine. Ito yung nag-stabilize ng blood sugar natin na hindi, okay, when you take red pine, take a lot of water. Drink a lot of water. Why? Hindi na lumalapot ang dugo mo and then kailangan mong iihi ng iihi. Why? But the good thing about this is nakakapasok yung ating glucose sa ating cell. May pagkain na ang cell. Kaya magtataka ka doon sa mga diabetic patients na nagtitake ng red pine, but hindi ko nakita yung symptoms because nakakakain ang cell ng glucose because of this component. Ano pa ba ang component? The tryptophan. Okay? The tryptophan supports the production of healthy serotonin levels, okay, dealing with the stress, reducing the anxiety. It helps the productions of melatonin, regulates the sleep cycles. It encourages a restful sleep. It improves relaxations. It encourages emotional well-being. Actually, si tryptophan is very good kasi hirap din matulog ang mga diabetic patients. Okay? Because of low hemoglobin, yung ating hemoglobin circulations na pati yun ay natatamaan. So this one, it acts as relaxation. Kaya nakaka-relax yung isang pasyente. So, ano pa? The glycine. Glycine, it aids in protections against type 2 diabetes. So, these are the component of red pine that acts as insulin para makapasok yung ating mga glucose papunta sa cell. May pagkain yung ating cell. So, ang galing. Hindi tayo maging dependent sa insulin injection. Okay? So, these are the clinical manifestations. Sinabi ko na yun, polyuria, inanghihi, polydipsia, uhaw ng uhaw, pulipagya, gutom ng gutom. So, these are all the manifestations. Sleepiness. Kaya nga may L-tryptophan kasi yun yung magbibigay ng relaxation and then it stimulates the release of melatonin. That's why nakakatulong. Those are the component of our red pine. A very powerful component talaga. And hindi lang po sa kwento, but to those diabetic patients type 1 and type 2, I have witnessed a lot na po. Marami na po. And then, ang dami na po dito na mapuputulan na ng paa, hindi na po napuputulan. I thank God. Why? Maganda ang circulations. Na-witness ko yan from 2019 and I thank God for our product. It is really a gift from God. And genital pruritus, hyperglycemia, and glucosuria, fever, fungal growth. So, candidal infections, no? Ito yung mga manifestations sa mga type 1, type 2, kaya nangangati palagi. Okay? So, ano pa ba? Who are atris? Sino po ba ang mga atris ng type 1 and type 2? Okay. So, of course, obesity. This is type 2 diabetes. Race, okay, lahi. History of CVD, cardiovascular disease. Meron din po itong risk factor na pwedeng mag-develop ng ganyan. Hypertension, physical inactivity, yung mga lagi lang nakaupo. And then familial history, these are type 1 diabetes. Polycystic ovary syndrome, pwedeng yung may mga PCOS, magka-develop ng diabetes, and also gestational diabetes. This one occur during pregnancy. That's why gestational diabetes, and this is very dangerous, no? Doon sa mga nanay na nagkaka-develop ng gestational diabetes, kawawa yung baby. So what are the diagnostics? So these are all the diagnostic. Ito yung fasting plasma glucose. Okay? Yung pakainin ka ng pakainin. No food and drink. 8 to 12 hours. Then kuhanan ka ng blood. Then OGTT, oral glucose tolerance test. Okay? So these are the different types of uh, diagnosis, no? Para makita. Then glycosylated hemoglobin, the HbA1c, is a test that measures the amount of glycated hemoglobin in your blood. Okay, glycated hemoglobin is a substance in red blood cells that is formed when blood sugar attaches to hemoglobin. That's why you need to check the HbA1c. Okay? So, doon natin malalaman na ay ang taas ng glucose. It attaches in the hemoglobin. So, ito yung mga normal values. Okay? So, pinapakita ko para at least meron po tayong idea. Urinalysis, of course, nakikita din sa urine. Too much glucose in the urine. And also ketones in the bodies. Nakikita din sa urinalysis ang ketones. So, be careful dun sa sinabi ko. Hindi ho ganun kadali. Maggaya-gaya. Okay? Kung hindi mo alam yung condition mo, huwag mong i-practice. Diagnostic criteria, so these are all the normal values. Okay. So ito yon, the good. It's B1C 7 and 8. Okay. 6, 5, 4. Excellent. Okay. Ito yung good. Pag sinabing good, ito yung mga borderline. Borderline. 9 up to hanggang taas, ito yung nandun ka na sa sitwasyon ng diabetes. So, MGDL and MMOL. So, these are the different uh, tingnan. Okay? So, ano ba ang dietary management? Okay, follow individualized meal plan and snacks. Okay, balanced diet. Ito yung dapat nating gawin. 50% carbohydrates, 30% fats, 20% protein, vitamins, and minerals. Diet based on patient size, weight, age, occupation, and activity. Titingnan po yan. Again, ito yung ibig kong sabihin, paalala, Hindi lahat ng mga diet plan, meal plan ay applicable sa atin. Especially if you don't know your condition. It might lead to chronic disorder. Patient must have adequate carbohydrate intake to correspond to time when insulin is most effective. Routine blood glucose testing before each meal and bedtime is necessary during initial control, during illness and unstable patients. Do not skip meals. All right. Do not skip meals. Paalala. Eat a balanced diet, but do not skip meals. Measure foods accurately. Do not estimate. Less added fat, fewer fatty foods, and low cholesterol. So, ano mga interventions? Advise use of complex carbohydrates to help stabilize blood sugar. Wala po sinabing tanggalin. Okay? Meals should include more fiber and starch, fewer simple or refined sugars. Avoid concentrated sweets. Sabi na, ay, diabetic ako, hindi na ako kakain ng carbo. Again, delikado. Okay? Kasi glucagon ang magtatrabaho. And too much of that will lead to chronic kidney disease. Okay? Avoid concentrated sweets, high in sugar. If taking insulin, eat extra food before periods of vigorous exercise. Avoid periods of fasting and feasting. Keep weight at normal level. Obese diabetics should be on a strict weight control program and should lose weight. Okay? Okay. Gusto kong ipaalala na metformin is not really a drug to regulate diabetes. Okay? Metformin is used or intended for weight loss. Okay? Hindi po yan to regulate the blood glucose. Sino pong nagtitake ng insulin? Ay, ng metformin? Sino po ang nag... Sino po? Okay. Alam
Si
nyo ba,
mother ko.
metformin is not used to regulate glucose. It is used to lose weight. Okay. Gusto mong pumayat agad na walang diet-diet? Pwede kang magpa-prescribe ng metformin and furosemide. 2 days. Papayat ka talaga. Okay? Again, metformin is used to lose weight. Bakit kailangan mag-lose weight? Para hindi ka gaanong thank you. Hindi ka gaanong crave ng pagkain. Okay? Hindi ka mag-crave ng pagkain. Kasi kapag too much, no, too much fat, no, yung ano natin, medyo tumaas yung ating BMI, no? We need a lot of energy. So we need to eat lot of carbohydrates. Kaya pinapapayat yung pasyente para hindi gaano mag-crave ng carbohydrates, hindi gaano gutumin. Okay? So yun yung functions ng metformin. It is really not a drug to control blood sugar, but it is used for lose weight. Furosemide and metformin is used for a drug for lose weight. Okay? So, that's the patient. Insulin is in current use may be stored at room temperature. Avoiding injection cold insulin. So, these are the uh, administrations of insulins. Kailangan natin gawin to sa mga nagtitake ng insulins. But actually, continuous yung red pine. You will see the result. Ang dami ko na pong ganyan na pasyente na diabetic. Type 1, type 2. Maayos yung kanilang glucose. Marami na pong nag-testify niyan, kaya ang dami ko na pong na-witness na mga halos i-amputate na, hindi na po natuloy. Okay? Factors that influence the body needs for insulin, of course, pag nag-i-insulin ka every day, it causes trauma. Trauma sa ating skin and also can lead to infections because there is an opening. Fever, severe psychological or physical stress, another illness. And then, active exercise. Kailangan natin yun. Okay? Hypoglycemia. Okay, pag nag-hypoglycemia, bumagsak yung ating glucose. Especially kapag 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning sa type 2 diabetes. So, pag nag-hypoglycemia, dapat hindi po bastang pabayaan. Why? pwedeng makumatos ang isang pasyente. Pag bumagsak ang glucose, hindi mo naagapan, pwedeng makumatos ang isang pasyente. Hypogly. So, kaya pala nung na-assign ako before sa hemodialysis, nagtataka ako bakit ang daming 1 liter na Coke. Okay? Pag ang isang dialysis patient bumagsak ng nagka-hypoglycemia, pinapainom lang ng 1 glass of Coke para bumilis ang pagtaas ng blood glucose. Okay, so yun, ganun katindi ang ating Coke. Kanyang component, yung glucose, ang bilis umakyat. Hindi po natin pwedeng pabayaan pag nagka-hypoglycemia. Why? Okay, thank you. Pag nagka-hypoglycemia isang tao, sweating, malamig, napawis. Okay. And then nagtitremor, namumutla. Okay? Nagpapalpitate. Why? Bakit? Hirap na hirap. Yung ating heart, nahihirapan dahil, ay sorry, okay? Nahihirapan yung ating heart because of the circulations, no? So, hindi ko na to anuhin ha. Diretso-diretso ko na to. Tapos nahihilo. And then can lead to convulsions and comatose. Why? Wala pong enough. Yung hemoglobin kasi, yun ang nagbitbit ng oxygen. So kapag nag-hypoglycemia, delikado. So it can lead to convulsions and also comatose. Kaya huwag pabayaan. So give simple sugar orally if patient is conscious and can swallow. Ito yung mga dapat. Give glucagon. Ah, Yan po ay ini-inject. Okay, kapag unconscious ang isang pasyente. Pag hindi na siya conscious, kailangan ng IM injection sa mga unconscious na yan. The glucagon. Ano nga ang glucagon? It is a hormone para mag-release, para i-dissolve ang mga stored fats. Or cannot take sugar by mouth. Kailangan niya ng injection na. Regains consciousness, he should be given carbohydrates by mouth. Pakainin. If patient does not respond above the measures, he is given 50 ml glucose, IV. Okay? So, kailangan na po ng IV ang isang pasyente. Ito yung diabetic ketoacidosis. Ito yung mga leading to kidney failure because of too much fasting, too much low carb, too much intermittent na hindi man kailangan. And then insulin shock, hyperglycemic, hyperosmolar, non-ketotic, coma. Then the Down phenomenon. So, ito yung mga mangyayari. Wag na to. Okay. So, these are the different types of, nasaan na ba ako? Nabanggit ko na to. The Down phenomenon. Hindi ko na to banggitin sa inyo. So, nabanggit ko na din, kaya nagkaroon ng poor healing, nagkaroon ng diabetic retinopathy because of too much glucose in the blood, no? Bit. So, diabetes mellitus, this is the summary, okay? Diabetes, remember, it is full under chronic disorder. Treatable but not curable. Yun yung sinabi ko sa inyo. Kaya huwag kang magsabi na ang produkto mo, hay, merong produkto na nalaman ko na talagang nagtitreat ng diabetes. No, cannot. It is treatable but not curable. Can only be managed. Preventable in obesity in adult client. Controllable, of course, can be controlled. Diet and exercise. Of course, we need a diagnostic test. The signs and symptoms, hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia, dapat alamin. Okay? Treatment of hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia. Monitoring, teaching, and assessing for complications. Kailangan. So, ano ang dapat nating gawin? Healthy lifestyle. Eat healthy. Do exercise. Go for regular checkup. Manage stress. Stop smoking and drinking alcohol. Especially kapag stress ka lagi, diabetic ka pa, lalong lumalapot. Kasi the stress hormone can also thicken the blood. Nagkukos ng lapot ng dugo ang too much stress hormone. Okay? Lapot na nga, palalaputin mo pa. That's why nagkakaroon ng atake. Nagkaka-heart attack. Now, the truth about fruit sugar. Maraming sabi, ay bawal yan, bawal pag diabetic, matamis yan, bawal. No, it is handled differently by body than processed sugar. Okay? It is a simple sugar. Simple sugar ang mga prutas. Which body and brain run on? Kailangan ng body natin yan and brain. Optimal form of energy for us, bring alkalinity and vitality to our cells, reverse acidosis, and three, strengthens the cells. Kahit papaano, hindi ka manlulupaypay, may pagkain pa rin ng cell. Because this is simple sugar. All sugars are not the same. Fruit sugar does not need to be limited. Tandaan niyo yan. Does not cause diabetes. Ulitin ko, ang diabetes type 1 and type 2, merong malaking factor ang pancreas because of the beta cell and the alpha cell. So, hindi po ang fruit sugars ang nagkukos ng diabetes. I hope you understand. Sabi ba, ay hindi pwede yan kasi matamis yan. Alam nyo na ngayon ang type 1, type 2 kung bakit may type 1 at may type 2. Because of the insulin present and non-present. Walang susi, walang insulin. So, si pancreas, nahihirapan dahil sa sobrang daming glucose na bitbit. But again, ang fruit sugar is a simple sugar, not a complex sugar. Okay? So, I hope you understand kasi marami ako narinig. Naku, pag yan matamis, hindi pwede yan. Ang pinagbawal lang ay yung mga sugar na galing sa, ayan, sa mga ice cream, okay, yung mga ganun, mga cake, kung ano-anong mga ganun. Pero pag from the fruits, no. Okay, these are the best foods for diabetes and worst food for diabetes. Okay, best foods, avocado, low carb, vegetable, okay, berries, eggs, coconut oil, butter, 85% cacao, chocolate, turkey and chicken, red meat. Okay, but again, we need a balanced diet. The worst foods for diabetes, ito. Ito po talaga kasi ito yung, especially if you are type 2 diabetes. So these are the worst food. Okay, bakit banana kasali? Because banana high in potassium. Okay? Kapag mataas ang potassium and then malapot pa ang dugo, lalong nagkakaroon ng constrictions, no? And then it causes palpitations because potassium is a body chemical that will siya yung nagkukos ng muscle contractions. So, hirap na nga yung heart because of too much glucose in the blood. Lalagyan mo pa ng potassium na siya yung nagko-contract ng muscles. Remember, our heart is a muscle. So, that is also part of the worst foods for diabetes. Candy, ice cream, soda. So, those are the best foods and the worst foods. So, at least alam nyo na. Okay? So, of course, too much is bad for us. Wala pong bawal. We need to eat a balanced diet, but not too much is bad for us. So, do you have any question?